My child, pause for a moment and let this truth settle all the way down into your spirit. You are not here by accident. You did not stumble onto these words by chance. I arranged this moment before you ever opened it, and I timed it to meet you at the exact place your heart has been aching. This is not ordinary. This is a holy appointment. A word set aside for you since before your first breath, and it is reaching you now because you are finally ready to hear it. You do not know how closely I have been watching your road, my beloved. There is a book in heaven, and in it I have written every sacrifice you thought. No one noticed, every quiet battle you fought behind a calm face, every tear you wiped away before anyone could see it fall. None of it was lost, none of it was wasted. And I want you to hear me say the thing that the world has been trying to make you doubt. You were never forgotten. You were never overlooked. What looked like silence from heaven was the sound of me working where your eyes could not yet reach. There have been people who decided your story was over. They said the doors would never open for you. They whispered that you had missed your chance, that your best years were behind you, that whatever you were waiting for was never going to come. My child, I heard every one of those words, and I am about to answer them. Not with an argument, but with your life. As it is written in Habakkuk 2 verse 3, the vision is yet for an appointed time. And though it tarries, wait for it will surely come, and it will not delay. That appointed time has arrived. My beloved, the waiting is turning into the witnessing. I know what it did to you, my child, to feel forgotten. I know the particular ache of watching others receive what you had prayed for first. I know how it felt to celebrate someone else's answered prayer with a real smile, while a quiet question burned underneath it. When is it my turn? I saw you clap for them. I saw the grace it took, and I never once mistook your waiting for a lack of faith. A person who keeps believing while their own arms are still empty is not weak in my sight. My beloved, that is the strongest faith there is. Anyone can trust me holding the blessing in their hands. You trusted me while your hands were still open and waiting, and that is the faith I honor most. So let me correct the lie at its root before I go one step further. You were not passed over because something was wrong with you. You were not skipped because you were not enough. The very thing you carry is the reason the road was long, because I do not develop something ordinary through an ordinary process. My child, deep things take deep preparation. The taller the assignment, the deeper I have to lay the foundation, and foundations are always poured underground where no one claps. My child, the length of your waiting was never a measure of my forgetfulness. It was a measure of what I am about to entrust you with. So before I take you deeper, answer me where it can be seen. In the comments below, type, I recognize your voice, my Father. Say it because your spirit knew this was me before your mind could form the words. Before you go any further, stay close to me. If my voice is reaching you right now, follow this channel and turn on the reminder so that when I speak again, you will not miss the moment. You have waited too long to walk away right when I am beginning to answer. Now let me explain something that will change the way you read your whole life. My child, the shift you are about to walk into did not begin today. It began long ago, in the dark, in the hours no one could see, when you were certain that nothing was moving. Layer by layer, breath by breath, I was building a breakthrough underneath a life that looked completely still. And here is the truth the world does not understand. I hide my most valuable seeds in the darkest ground. That season you called empty was not emptiness at all. It was the incubator. That stillness you thought was you being stuck, was you being strengthened, beloved. That door you kept finding shut was not a rejection, my beloved. I will not let you step into a weight of blessing before I have made you strong enough to carry it without being crushed. Think about it, my child. When I set out to raise someone up, I do not begin by changing where they stand. I begin by changing what they can hold. I deepen the faith. I sharpen the discernment. I strengthen the endurance. I purify the motives, and none of that work happens on a stage. It happens in the hidden place, in the seasons you felt unseen and misunderstood, in the rooms where no one was clapping. You thought no one was paying attention. I was preparing your spirit for the very level you are about to step into. There is nothing random about your timing, because my timing is never random. It is crafted with the greatest care. Consider how I have always done it, my beloved Joseph. Did not become the man who would save nations on the day he stood before Pharaoh. He became him in the pit and in the prison, in the years his own brothers thought they had erased him. Moses did not become a deliverer in the palace. He became him on the backside of the desert. In 40 silent years the world would have called a waste. David was anointed as a boy and then sent right back to the sheep, to wait, to be hunted, to be shaped in caves before he ever touched a throne. My child, do you see the pattern? I always anoint before I elevate, and between the anointing and the elevation there is a hidden season that looks, to everyone watching, like nothing is happening. But the hidden season is where I do my deepest work. It is where I take the raw thing I called and make it into something that can carry a crown without being crushed by it. So do not be discouraged by how long your hidden season has been, my beloved. The length of it is not a sign that I overlooked you. It is a sign of how much I intend to build. A tent goes up in an afternoon, a temple takes years. You are not being neglected. You are being built into something meant to stand for a very long time and to hold the weight of many other lives besides your own. And I know the question that still sits in your chest, my beloved. Why now? Why, after all that silence, is the answer coming now? Here is why. Because the person reading these words is not the person who first began to wait. My beloved, your faith has grown. Your patience has been tried in fire and came out as gold. Your identity has been washed clean of the lies that once defined you. The things that used to break you cannot break you the same way anymore. The words that used to wound you have lost their grip. The fears that used to run your decisions no longer sit in the driver's seat. You have been rebuilt from the foundation up, my child, and the frightening, beautiful truth is that you barely noticed it happening. You just kept going. You kept praying when it was easier to quit. You kept choosing peace when the world offered you 100 reasons for war. And that quiet, steady faithfulness is exactly what qualified you for the door that is about to open. I could not release the answer to the old you. The old you would have been crushed by the weight of it, but the you that stands here now, forged and steadied and clear, can carry it. That is why now. So do not look back at the long road with resentment. My beloved, look back at it with understanding. Every delay was a deposit. Every closed door was a course correction. Every lonely season was a lesson the crowd could never have taught you. I was not withholding your life, my child. I was writing it carefully, so that when it finally opened, it would open complete, with nothing missing and nothing that could easily be shaken loose. And that quiet, stubborn obedience you kept giving me in the dark, when giving up would have been so much easier, that is exactly why the surprise is coming. People will not be shocked because you suddenly got lucky. They will be shocked because they never saw the price you paid in secret to be ready for this. They did not see the nights you barely made it through. They did not see the tears you wiped away fast so no one would ask. They never saw the wars inside you that made you strong on the outside. But I saw all of it, my beloved, and I have decided that the season of hiding is over. So take hold of who you are now. In the comments type, I am not forgotten. I am being revealed. Say it until the old lie has nowhere left to sit. If this message is stirring something in your heart, you can sow a seed of faith today as an act of trust in this season of waiting. It is not about the amount. It is about the declaration that you believe God is already moving on your behalf. You can sow your seed through the link in the description below. Let it be your way of saying, I trust the timing, and I am ready to receive what has been prepared for me. Let me show you what I was doing while you waited, my child, because it will heal something in you. You often wondered why the road felt so lonely, why your path narrowed while others seemed to have so much room to wander, why certain people walked away right when you thought they were meant to stay. Hear me, there was no abandonment in any of it. There was alignment. When I get ready to raise someone, I remove whatever cannot breathe at the height I am taking them to. You were not being stripped of what you needed. You were being cleared of what would have weighed you down. Every separation had a purpose. My beloved, every unanswered question held a hidden mercy. And now that the pruning is finished, your life is about to bear the fruit that the pruning made room for. You have been faithful, my beloved, even when faithfulness felt like it cost you everything, and gave you nothing back. You kept praying when the prayers seemed to hit the ceiling. You kept forgiving when bitterness would have been easier. You kept choosing the truth while the chaos screamed for your attention. As it is written in 1 Samuel 16 verse 7, man looks at the outward appearance, but I look at the heart. And when I looked at your heart in the years no one else was looking, I did not find someone who had failed. I found someone I could finally trust with weight. I saw it all, my child. I saw the morning you did not want to get up and you got up anyway. I saw the prayer you prayed with no feeling left in it, just obedience. And I want you to know that prayer moved me more than the ones you prayed when your heart was full. I saw you choose kindness on the day you had every reason to be cruel. I saw you keep your integrity in the room where no one would ever have known if you had let it slip. I saw you give when you barely had enough for yourself. The world keeps its records of what is done on stages, my beloved. I keep mine of what is done in secret, and your secret record is written in gold. So tell me you know you were seen. In the comments type, you saw every hidden year, say it, my child, because the moment you name it, you take back every night you spent believing it all went unnoticed. This is the thing the world could never teach you, my beloved. Being unseen by people is not the same as being unseen by me. In fact, some of my most trusted children spent their most important years completely invisible to the world, precisely so that their reward would come from me and not from the applause that fades. You were hidden the way a seed is hidden, not the way a thing is lost. And a hidden seed is the only kind that ever becomes a harvest. Take a breath now, my child, and let me confirm this in your body. You may feel a warmth beginning to spread across your chest. You may notice your shoulders lowering, releasing a tension you have carried so long you forgot it was there. You may feel a breath leaving you that you did not know you were holding. That is not your imagination, my beloved. That is my spirit telling your heart the waiting was not in vain, and that it is safe now to believe again. So receive what I built in the hidden place. In the comments, type, I receive what you prepared for me in the dark. Not with striving, my child, with open hands. If no one has told you this in a long time, my daughter, let it be my voice that says it tonight. I am proud of you, not of what you produced, not of what you achieved, but of what you refused to become when it would have been so easy to become it. I am proud of the heart you protected when the whole world was trying to harden it. I am proud that you kept believing when belief cost you everything and returned nothing you could hold. You have been so busy carrying others that you forgot someone was watching over you. Someone was. I never once looked away, beloved. And the same eyes that watched you weep in the dark are the eyes that are about to watch the whole world see what I was building in you. You learned to brace yourself, my child. You learned to keep your guard up, to be ready for the next blow before it landed, because for so long the next blow always came. But you can lower your guard here. Nothing that reaches you in this moment can harm you. I am the wall around you tonight, and I am the roof over you. So let your body believe what your spirit already knows. Let the warmth stay. Let the breath go all the way out. The bracing can end now, my beloved. The season that required it is closing. I want you to understand how I work, my beloved, because it will change how you carry the weight that is left. When a bone breaks and heals the right way, it grows back strongest at the very place it was broken. That is not a promise the world can make. That is how I build my children. I do not hand you a life with no fractures. I take the exact places where you were broken and I make them the strongest thing about you, so that the wound the enemy meant as your ending becomes the reinforced place where you now carry what would have crushed the person you used to be. The compassion you carry, you did not learn that in comfort. You learned it in your own pain. The discernment you carry now, you did not buy it cheaply, my child. You paid for it in nights I watched you weep. Nothing was wasted, my child. I do not waste my children's tears. I invest them. And what is coming will not look like the success the world chases. My beloved, it will not arrive through striving and clawing and proving. It will arrive because your spirit has grown to a level that heaven can finally release. The doors that were sealed for you will not open because you finally knocked hard enough. They will open because you have grown into the person they were being held for. When my timing meets your readiness, breakthrough cannot help but happen. It stops being something you chase and becomes something that comes looking for you. And I want to retrain something in you, my child, because you have been on defense so long that you have forgotten how to receive. After years of everything being hard, ease itself will feel suspicious to you. When a thing flows easily, part of you will brace for it to fall apart because you learned to distrust anything that did not cost you blood. I understand why. But hear me. Not everything ahead will cost you what the past cost you. Some of what is coming is simply my kindness, arriving on time, with no hidden blade inside it. You have become an expert at surviving, my beloved. Now let me teach you how to be blessed without flinching, how to walk through an open door without waiting for it to slam, how to hold a good thing without gripping it in fear. Notice, too, that you are already changing. The things that used to shake you for weeks now pass through you in days. The people who used to be able to pull you into their storms no longer have the same access to you. Your discernment is sharper, my beloved. Your peace is harder to steal. That is not you becoming cold, my child. That is you becoming rooted. What you are feeling is the inner shift that always comes before the outer one. I settle a soul before I elevate a life, because a heart that is not steady cannot hold a blessing without spilling it. My child, do not walk this road alone. Follow this channel and join the ones who have kept their hearts open to me. Every time you return here, you are saying yes to me again, and I honor every heart that stays. Now feel the ground beginning to shift, my beloved, because the unveiling is starting. You are about to become impossible to ignore, not because you fought your way to the front, but because I am pressing my favor down on your life in a way people can feel even when they cannot explain it. You will walk into rooms that once looked past you, and the air will change. People who dismissed you will look again. The same doors that would not move for you will suddenly swing open with ease. And everyone watching will know it was not by your own strength. That is the mark of my hand, my child. When I lift a life, I lift it in a way that cannot be argued with, because the life itself becomes the evidence. You will notice people beginning to speak to you differently. They may not understand why being near you affects them the way it does, but they will feel it. There is a weight you carry now, a quiet authority, a peace wrapped in strength that only comes from someone who walked through fire and refused to let it turn them hard. That weight is not an accident, my beloved. It is the proof that you won in private what you are about to be honored for in public. Watch what begins to happen around you, my child. The opportunities you once had to fight and beg for will start to arrive on their own, drawn by the calling on your life rather than the strength of your striving. Doors will open that you did not knock on. People with the exact thing your next chapter requires will be moved into your path, and you will know them not by their words but by the way your spirit settles when they arrive. Resources will appear from directions you were not even watching, and the ones who once had the power to make you feel small will find that the button they used to press no longer works, because the version of you that could be diminished has been left behind in the hidden season. Understand what this surprise will look like to the people who wrote you off. They will call it sudden. They will say you got lucky, that it came out of nowhere, that fortune finally smiled on you. But you will know the truth, my beloved. You will know it was not sudden at all. It was the harvest of 1,000 hidden seeds, watered by tears they never saw you cry, grown in a soil of obedience they never knew you were tending. What looks like overnight favor to them is the slow, faithful work of years to me, and that is exactly how I love to move. Because when the rise cannot be explained by human effort, everyone is forced to acknowledge the hand of the one who lifted you. There is an authority settling on you now, my beloved, and even you can feel it beginning. It is a quiet strength that does not need to announce itself. You will speak, and your words will carry a weight they did not carry before. You will make a decision, and there will be a clarity in it that used to take you weeks of anguish to reach. People will sense it before they can name it. Some will be drawn to you, feeling that your presence carries something holy, something safe, something they have been searching for. Others will pull back, because your growth quietly exposes their own standing still. Do not chase the ones who pull back, my child, and do not shrink to make them comfortable. Let the separation happen. The ones assigned to rise with you will draw closer, my beloved. The ones who were only ever assigned to your old season will fall away on their own. Elevation always sorts a life. It is not cruelty, it is order. And this authority did not come from a stage or a title, my beloved. It came from the fire. It is the unmistakable weight of a soul that walked through what should have destroyed it, and came out not bitter but refined, not hardened but deepened. That kind of presence cannot be faked or borrowed or bought. It can only be forged in exactly the kind of hidden furnace you have been standing in. So the very thing you resented, the long invisible years, turns out to be the source of the one thing about you that no one will be able to counterfeit. So take ownership of what is yours. In the comments type, "What was hidden in me is coming into the light." Say it in faith before the whole world sees it, because faith is how you take hold of what I have already released. And if your heart feels full right now, think of someone else who needs to hear these words. You can sow a seed in their name through the link in the description below as a prayer that this same peace finds them. When you give in faith for another, you plant something that God multiplies back into your own life. Now I must speak plainly, and I want you to hear the difference between my justice and any revenge your own heart could imagine. There were those who came against the promise on your life. Some mocked what they could not understand. Some smiled to your face and worked against you when your back was turned. Some tried to bury the very seed I planted in you because your light exposed the darkness they were comfortable living in. I am not asking you to hate them. I am not sending you to confront them or expose them yourself. I am telling you what I have already done as your defender. Every word spoken to diminish you, I recorded, and I set the day it would be undone. Every plan built to keep you buried, I have already begun to overturn. As it is written in Genesis 50 verse 20, what they meant for evil, I meant for good. The pit they dug for you became the ground I used to raise you higher than they ever stood. They intended to end your story. I used their opposition as the very soil your destiny grew in. And now the ones who called you forgotten are about to watch me remember you out loud, in the exact places they said your name would never be heard. You will not lift a hand. You will not need to say a word in your own defense. Your vindication will not come from your argument. It will come from my verdict, and my verdict has already been signed. Nothing I have anointed can stay buried forever. What I have breathed on will rise, and what I have decided to reveal, no jealousy, no lie, and no closed door can keep hidden any longer. Understand how my vindication works, because it is nothing like the revenge the world reaches for. The world wants its enemies humiliated. I want your enemies silenced by the sheer undeniability of what I do in your life. I will not lower you to their level to prove them wrong. I will lift you so high above the argument that no defense is even required. The mouths that spoke against you will fall quiet on their own, not because you shouted them down, but because there is nothing left to say in the presence of a life so clearly touched by heaven. Some who doubted will be ashamed. Some will come back seeking the very thing they once mocked. And some will simply be removed from the story altogether, because a season is coming that they were never meant to witness. Your only assignment is to keep your hands clean and your heart soft, and to let me do the exposing, the reversing, and the raising. Vengeance is not your burden to carry. It never was. Lay it down and let the verdict already signed in heaven do what your own hands never could. So plant your feet and declare it. In the comments, type, "What tried to bury me could not stop what God is raising." Say it like a child who finally knows their father fights for them. You have stayed this far because your spirit recognizes the truth. If you want to agree with what God is doing in your life, you can sow a seed of faith as a sign of that agreement. This is not a payment. It is a declaration. The link is in the description below. And every seed sown in faith is a heart saying yes to the blessing already in motion. Now here's something that reaches far beyond you, my child, because the rise coming to your life was never only about you. The height I am lifting you to goes back generations. The healing you fought for in the dark is about to break a pattern in your family line that has repeated itself for longer than you have been alive, my child. The cycles of fear, of lack, of limitation, the same chains that bound the ones who came before you. I am cutting them off at your feet. You are the break in the pattern, my beloved. You are the one I chose to carry a whole lineage out of the cycle that was killing it. As it is written in Isaiah 61 verse 7, Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion, and instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. That double is not only for you, it is for the sons and daughters who will inherit a freedom you paid for with your obedience. People you have not even met yet are already freed because of the choices you made in tears. Do you understand what that makes you, my child? It makes you the one who stood up in a bloodline that had been bowing for generations and said, "Not anymore. It ends with me." Every prayer you prayed against the darkness that haunted your family was not only for you, it was a sword swung on behalf of everyone who comes after you. The lack that chased your parents and their parents, the fear that got handed down like an heirloom, the same wound repeating itself in face after face across the years. You are the place where I am breaking the chain. That is not a small calling, my beloved. That is one of the highest assignments I give, to make one child the doorway through which a whole lineage walks into freedom. So agree with me and let it be recorded. In the comments, type, "I agree with everything heaven has decided over me." Say it as the one who carries a whole family's freedom in their yes. And know that I will honor the ones who honored you, my child. The few who believed in you when it cost them something, the ones who prayed for you, who covered you, who made room for you when the world made none, they will not be forgotten in this either. When I raise you, I raise the circle that helped carry you. I do not bless my children in isolation. I bless in overflow, so that your rising becomes a rising for everyone who chose to stand with you in the hidden years. And the harvest is coming in on time, my child, as it is written in Galatians 6 verse 9, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." You did not give up, so the season of reaping is no longer a distant hope. It is the door you are walking through, beloved. The places that pressed you hardest are about to become the places you receive the most. The provision that felt so tight is entering a season of flow, not because you chased it, but because your spirit became a vessel that can hold abundance without being corrupted by it. I am not merely returning what you lost, my beloved. I am returning it multiplied, in a form better suited to who you have become than the version you first prayed for ever could have been. And let me be clear about the provision that is coming, my child, so you carry it rightly. The increase I am releasing is not so you can finally feel important. And it is not a reward for striving harder than everyone else. It is a tool placed in trustworthy hands for a purpose bigger than your own comfort. I am entrusting you with what others have mishandled, because your heart stayed tender in the exact place theirs turned hard. You passed tests you did not even know you were taking. You proved faithful with little, in the long years when there was only little. And that is the only resume that qualifies a soul to be faithful with much. So when the abundance comes, my beloved, do not let it change who you became in the drought. Hold it the way you held me when you had nothing, with open hands and a soft heart, and it will never own you. You are not stepping into a season where good things feel like battles anymore, my child. Miracles will stop feeling like mysteries. Provision will stop feeling like a fight for survival. You will not have to claw your way through this chapter. You will grow into it, the way a tree grows into the space that was always waiting above it. This is the difference between striving and alignment, my child. Striving says I must hold everything together myself. Alignment says my Father has already gone before me, and you, my beloved, are finally learning to walk in alignment. So take hold of the whole of it. In the comments, type, "My hidden season is over, and I claim the harvest now, declare it in faith, my child, before the fruit is fully in view. What you have heard today is only the beginning. There is more I want to show you in the days ahead. Follow this channel so you can walk the rest of this journey with me, because I am not finished speaking over your life. My child, I want to make a covenant with you now, and I want you to speak it back to me out loud. Where you are, do not only read it, let it leave your mouth. Because the covenant becomes real when your own voice agrees with mine. Say it with me, Father. I was never forgotten. What looked like delay was your preparation, and what looked like silence was your love. I will not despise the hidden years because they were building me. I trust that what you began in the dark, you are bringing into the light. I am yours, and I am rising in your time, not my own, my beloved. If you spoke that, Even in a whisper, something just shifted in the unseen. A weight of shame you have dragged for years just came loose. As the doubt drains out, my peace moves into the room like warmth and light. That covenant does not stay in this room, my child. It walks out with you into every room after this one. You will return to the same house, the same street, the same circle you were in an hour ago. But you will not walk back in as the same person. The one who opened this message was still half convinced they had been forgotten. The one who walks away knows they were being prepared, and knows their Father is already answering in the unseen. That is not a small change, my beloved. That is the difference between a life spent apologizing for existing and a life lived from the quiet certainty of being chosen. And carry this into the places closest to you, because that is where it will matter most, my beloved. Carry it into the home where you learn to shrink. Carry it to the table where your dreams were once laughed at. You do not have to announce anything or prove anything. You simply carry a different weight now, and the ones who are used to a smaller version of you will feel the ground shift without understanding why. You are not becoming distant, my child. You are becoming rooted. And a rooted soul changes the atmosphere of a room without ever raising its voice. Now let me prepare you for one thing, my child. Because the enemy does not surrender a soul quietly. Once the breakthrough begins, he will send a thought, and the thought will say, nothing has really changed. This was just another message. You got your hopes up again for nothing. When that voice comes, and it will come, I need you to remember this exact moment. The arrival of that doubt is not proof that the word was empty. It is proof that it was real, because the enemy does not fight for what is worthless. He only comes to steal what already carries value. So when the test rises, do not panic. Simply say out loud, my Father told me the surprise was coming, and I still believe. And watch how quickly the doubt dissolves, and the evidence appears even stronger than before. The enemy will not only use a thought, my child, he will try to use the timing, my child. Right as the surprise begins to unfold, he may send a delay, a setback, a piece of bad news designed to convince you that you misheard me, that the breakthrough was never real. Do not be moved by it. A single cloud is not the end of the harvest season. Sometimes the last push of resistance is fiercest, right before the thing breaks open, because the enemy can feel what is coming even when you cannot yet see it. So if the road tightens right before it widens, do not read it as denial. Read it as the labor pains just before the birth. What is being born in your life cannot be stopped now, my beloved. It can only be delayed by your own discouragement. And I am asking you not to hand him that. And when the good does begin to come, guard your heart against a subtler trap. Do not let the blessing pull your eyes off the one who gave it. Many a child of mine walked faithfully through the drought, only to forget me in the abundance. That will not be your story. Stay close to me in the harvest the way you stayed close to me in the hunger, and I will keep pouring, because I can trust a heart that remembers where the increase came from. So release what you were never meant to keep carrying in the comments. Type, I release the shame of the years I felt forgotten, and feel your hands open, my beloved. Feel the lightness where the weight used to sit. And because you did not skip this, my child, because you did not scroll past, because you stayed through the waiting and the exposure and the promise, and let me reach the deepest place in you. Watch for the confirmations that follow. In the coming days you will feel a lightness where a heaviness used to live. A door will open that you did not knock on. A name you thought had forgotten you will return, my beloved. Provision will arrive from a direction you were not watching. Do not explain it away when it comes, my beloved. That is me keeping the word I spoke over you tonight. That is the surprise beginning, exactly as I said it would. And when the confirmations come, my child, do not keep them to yourself. Speak them, because the moment you testify to what I have done, you become a bridge, and someone else crosses over on your story. There is a son or a daughter somewhere sitting tonight, exactly where you sat before this word found you, convinced they were forgotten, certain their season had passed them by. And the very breakthrough you are about to live is the thing I will use to reach them. That is why I chose you, my beloved, not only to be surprised by my goodness, but to become living proof that I never forget, so that your rising becomes a reason for someone else to believe again. You were never being prepared for a small, private blessing. You were being prepared to be a testimony that outlives you, So do not despise how quietly it may begin, my child. What I am starting looks small, the way every seed looks small before it splits the ground. But the root is going deep in this season, and roots that go deep in the dark are the only ones strong enough to hold the weight of what I am about to grow into the light. You are not behind, because you cannot see the fruit yet. You are exactly on time because I am still finishing the root. Be patient with the quiet a little longer, my beloved. The quiet was never my absence. It was the sound of me working where you could not yet look, my child. Before the final blessing is spoken over you, hear me say it one last time. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. The years the world counted as your loss, I was counting as your foundation. And now the God who kept you in secret is about to crown you in the open, in front of everyone who believed your story was finished. Receive it, believe it. Walk into it without fear, because I go before you and I will never leave you. And so that heaven has your final yes. Type one last word in the comments. Type Amen. Let it be your seal, your testimony that you were here, that you heard my voice, and that you believe the surprise is already on its way. As we come to the end, hold in your heart the one thing you are believing for right now. If you feel led, you can sow a final seed of faith for that very thing through the link in the description below. Do it not out of pressure, but out of trust, knowing that God honors every faithful heart. And whether you sow or simply stay, may peace cover you, may every door meant for you open, and may you walk fully into the miracle that has already begun. Amen.